Hey, welcome to another early impression video. This time it's another new unit for Germany. It's the FALLSCHIRMJÄGERS. It's a legendary unit that is now available in the land lease. And yeah, let's check it out. In this video, I'll be referring to this unit as paratroopers, as that is literally what Fallschirmjägers mean in English if we translate it. Yeah, so we'll dive into the stats sheet for a bit to check out how does it do, and then we'll see it in action to get some battlefield intel. And at the very end, I'll show some possible deck that you can consider using, as well as I'll share some of my thoughts about what I think of this new unit. Alright, so let's start. So if you see the stats sheet here, it is a unit that has very good HP, it has good attack, and it has a medium speed for an infantry, and it has it has a 2 minute 30 seconds cooldown, which is very long, and a rather more expensive infantry compared to the others. It is also a single target unit. It doesn't do any AoE damage, and of course we already know it's a legendary rarity unit. Alright, let's check it out in action. So paratroopers can be dropped anywhere in the map, even though you do not have vision of the area. You only can't drop it in the surroundings of the opponent's base, and you also can't drop it in rivers and on buildings. Anywhere else where units can move around, yeah, you can drop the paratroopers there. And also, when you have selected the place for the paratroopers to drop, it'll take about 15 seconds for it to fully deploy, and after these 15 seconds then it can attack and be attacked by opponents. When you have selected your location to drop the paratroopers, the map will show this icon, and in the minimap it will also show a symbol where the paratroopers are being deployed. And once you have selected where you want to drop the paratroopers, immediately it will give vision of that area, even though your paratroopers have not fully deployed. And yeah, as you can see, paratroopers are good in big map especially, and you can immediately send infantry to resource points or strategic points. And since it is a tier 1 unit, it has an advantage in contesting for the early crates, as it has better stats compared to the fast riflemen and reds and volks. So yeah, it has a much better chance of securing the early crates. And in the early game, I see this unit as one that can disrupt opponents' resource points, as you can deploy them at opponents' resource points early in the game. Whereas in late game, I see paratroopers being able to disrupt opponents' economy, especially when there is a main battle going on. You can always sneak drop some paratroopers in the other side of the map to kind of like disrupt their resource point and try and capture those points. Yeah, and you can also use paratroopers to be dropped behind enemy front lines. so that yeah, it gives vision, and this can be useful for the long-range tank destroyers that requires vision. Also, we can see paratroopers as a quick drop for infantry backup. So when there is a battle going on and you need infantry backup, paratroopers is good for this, as it can instantly send infantry to those locations. It is also good for disrupting opponents' setup, infantry setups especially, as you don't have to run your infantry unit towards their opponent's units. You can just drop it immediately in the middle of their setup, so it can kind of like disrupt their play, as the paratroopers do not need to take damage while running towards your opponent. So that's another way of using your paratroopers. And so one thing to note is that it has a very long cooldown for a tier 1 unit, and so when you are building a deck, you have to take this into consideration, as you are kind of handicapped once you have built one, and if it dies, you can't immediately like build another one, not like Jaegers or engineers or Volks. So yeah, something to note, and adjust your gameplay and deck accordingly. So yeah, some deck suggestion here you can see is a deck that I have built and I use in 2v2. To me, the infantries are the one that requires a little bit more thought. Then the tanks can be, you know, fitted to your own gameplay and game style. And here we have also another deck that our Kudacek uses. Thanks Kudacek for showing us your deck here. And so lastly, just to show some comparison, paratroopers when compared to heavy infantry of USSR, which is, in my opinion, one of the best infantry in the game for now. And then there is a machine gun unit. If you compare the stats to the paratroopers, paratroopers is actually pretty good unit for tier 1. It has actually better HP compared to heavy infantry. Yeah, but yeah, you can see here the stats. And yeah, so to me, overall, it is a good unit to have. It is a good unit. Definitely can pull off some interesting strategy, can be creative with using it. It's a nice addition to the game. So yeah, if you have the resources, yeah, it's worth getting. However, yeah, you need to know that it's a legendary unit and you'll be very difficult to level them up, especially if you are free to play player. And oh yeah, lastly, the hard counters, the infantry that hard counters paratroopers is most definitely snipers, as yeah, paratroopers are slow, and by the time the paratroopers run up to the sniper, it's very likely that they didn't survive. So so yeah, I think that's about it from me. What do you think of this paratroopers? Do you like it? You don't like it? What kind of deck do you build using paratroopers? Do you plan on getting it? Let us all know in the comment section, and I'll see you in the next video. Alright, thanks everyone, bye.
Resource crate dropped.
Infantry me. Zeig sie mir einfach. Am Already sehr. Zeig sie mir einfach. mess from above. Get your weapons ready. They will not understand how they died. Squad, ready for orders. We are on duty. Oh, it will be a nice hunt. Infantry unit, ready for action. Zeig sie mir einfach.
Resource crate dropped.
Zeig sie mir einfach.
Your structure is under attack.
Keine. Tja, Valhalla. Wie? Tja, Valhalla. I shall be rewarded for your death.
Resource crate dropped.
Infantry unit, ready for action. They will not understand how they died.
Your structure is under attack.
Let's go. First, into hostile